If you are planning to build Mac OS applications and you are wondering what to use, so I've already covered one video explaining how to build Mac OS application. And today I'm going to talk about what I know better, and that is Electron.js. So this video is Electron.js 101. In this particular video, I will cover what exactly is Electron.js, what are the three different sections which you need to understand, and how you can get started. Earlier, the problem which I had is that when I given the prompt to AI, it built the application, but I didn't know what actually was working behind the scenes. But since I have done a lot of debugging, I have learned a lot in the process. So I know exactly the building blocks which you need to get started with Electron.js. So let's get started. If you don't know what Electron.js is, so you need to understand what Electron.js is first of all. So Electron combines Chromium and Node.js. So if you don't know what is Chromium, the Chrome, Brave, all the Dia, Comet, all browsers are Chromium based browsers. Even your VS Code, your Figma, your Slack, your Discord, all apps are Chromium based. That means they work on Electron. Now, I'm not saying that Chrome, Brave, they work on Electron, but these particular applications like VS Code, Cursor, Windsurf, Tray AI, like Discord, Slack, Figma, they all work with Electron. They have Electron in the background. Even the famous and the viral app Pluli also works in Electron.js. So they have all built with Electron.js. So you know how the rich the community support is. So Electron combines Chromium and Node.js. So Chromium is for the UI for the front end, and Node.js is again for the back end. To let you build cross-platform application with web technologies. That's it. And you need to learn about three things when you are getting started with Electron.js. That is main, renderer, and services. So let's understand what exactly is main process. So here main.ts, when you work with Electron.js, you have something called main.ts, main.js, which is the entry point of the application responsible for creating the window. So whatever window you're seeing, for example, this particular window, if I press Windows N, like Command N, so this particular window got opened. So this is controlled by the main process. That is what they're referring to. And it manages the menu, so you can see a lot of menu, window, help, tab, profiles, bookmarks, and all. So this particular menu is managed again by the main process. And Electron comes with something called IPC. It is nothing but it is a way to communicate with Node.js. So what happens is that whatever code of Node.js you've written, like custom logic, custom modules, those are not exposed to your UI directly. So those are exposed directly via a bridge, and that is called IPC. So this is called inter-process communication. And here the main and render, which I will explain you, communicates. And it has full access to Node.js APIs. Again, how will main communicate with renderer? So why the renderer will communicate with main? Because it needs Node.js, right? So Node.js libraries and APIs, so it has full access to them. So this is what main process is. So this is the entry point, and you have to take care of it first of all, and then only you can build the application for the Shabu part. Now let's come for the other parts, and that is renderer. Again, this is the main UI. You can write HTML, CSS, JavaScript, or you can use the React here. So this is where React is used, which is the render process, and that's why Electron.js is famous, because everyone knows React, everyone knows Vue.js, everyone knows HTML, CSS, JS, so they feel comfortable using this particular part, and it communicates with the main process through IPC. So these are two things which you need to know, and you here you can integrate your Tailwind, ChatCN, whatever you want to integrate. So we have done render. Now let's come to the services. So you can see services is nothing but self-contained modules, and what do I mean by that? So basically, for example, I want a file picker, or I want to work with a file. So I have one file in my system. I want to edit. For example, it is a PDF. I want to convert it into image. So how would I do it? So for that, I need a Node.js library or npm package, which I can do in React, but the working with file system is handled by Node.js. So that particular module, that custom module, you write in services. So you can see it is background workers, it is native add-ons, file system, hardware access. If you need hardware access, so for example, if someone is working with Bluetooth, so they need hardware access, and for that you can use this particular services. And it is again, all the APIs are exposed via IPC or remote imports to keep UI code clean and secure. So prevent security issues. That's why you divide it. So I have one repository, open source repository, which you can watch. That is Lightweight Video Editor. So here you can see what I mean, what I read, and what is services. So I will just open all three at once and you can refer it. So you can see I have main.ts, preload.ts, tsconfig.json. So tsconfig is again for TypeScript. Preload, I will not explain that part. You can easily understand. And what is main.ts? You can just see we are creating window. What is the window width? What is window height? Minimum width, minimum height. What are the preferences we want? And also we just write. These are all generated by AI. So I don't have any hand in that. So you can see what are the IPC handle you can see. So these are all the functions, not just functions. So extract audio for project, transcribe audio, check dependencies. So these are all handle, which is IPC. And I will call them through render. So if I go to the render, you can see I have components app.tsx. Again, it is just a React. So obviously the entry point is React. So app.tsx is the entry point. And you can see what is the entry point and all, and you can read the code. You don't need to waste your time here. I just gave it for reference so that you can understand what is render, what is main, and what is services. So we have understood what is main.ts. Now we are seeing render and the entry point. If it is React, it is app.ts. So I can see for handle time update, handle clip change, and handle cancel, like what am I calling. And you can see I'm calling window.electron API.save project. Here I'm calling window.electron API cancel ready. So if I copy this one and if I search this one, it should have that function. And you can see IPC main handle cancel rendering. It is a function which I'm calling from the render. So I just call it from electron API.cancel rendering, and which actually calls this type of IPC. So this is how main and render actually works. So I've explained about IPC, how it works, practical lessons. Now comes to services. So again, in the particular render I have shown you. Okay, let me just again go back to the part and let me just show you what that particular part was. So let me just do that part. So here you have select video file. So you can see I'm just calling the video file like IPC handler, and it is using dialog, show open dialog, main window, properties and all. Not this one. Get file URL and this one. Let me just go to this one and maybe AI service. Let me just see this one. So you can see I have something called export class AI service, and let me just search for here whether I can get this one. So you can see I'm using AI service here directly. So let me just use this one, and AI service get instance, and you can see I'm just calling when someone calls from the UI. Save AI settings, it actually calls the AI service to get instance, saves the AI service, save settings, and return success to. So this is how you actually code, like you build the class, you build the function in services, you link that particular part in IPC, and you convert that particular part in render. So don't worry about that. I will cover a lot more videos on Electron.js. So don't worry about that. I will teach you how to use AI to debug it, how to use AI to really understand what is going behind the scenes. But this is the Electron.js 101, which you need to understand to get started with Electron.js. If someone had told me these three things, I would have understood Electron.js in one day, but no one told me. So I told you so that you don't waste time like me. So I will see you in the next video. Till then, take care and bye.